I was on air yesterday after the election, and a lot of people were calling in, and there was frustration, they were upset, and we got a handful of Trump supporters who called into the show.
Yeah.
And one of the things they said to me, and if you all listened yesterday, you know, they said that after John McCain lost rather, they kept voting. After
Mm-hmm.
Romney lost, they kept voting.
That's
Trump
true.
lost the second time, they kept voting. And that was the thing they kept saying to me. Because I asked them, did the loss make you want to tap out? They said, no.
Mm-hmm.
I kept voting. Then I had people that called into the show on the other side and said, I'm not going to vote again.
Yeah.
I'm done. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, that's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference. This is exactly what we're talking about. We don't have
Mm-hmm.
all the data just yet, but reportedly, less than 20 million people didn't vote. Less than 20 million people didn't vote. And you did an incredible video talking about the disease of apathy.
Yeah.
The disease of apathy. And that's what I'm talking about. It happened in real time yesterday. These Trump
Mm-hmm.
supporters, MAGA, whether they were at one point Republican or Tea Party or Reagan voters or Bush voters, it didn't matter. They kept on voting.
Yep.
Nothing could shut them down from showing up to vote. Nothing. Then I have other folks calling in. One young woman said from Florida, I'll never vote again.
Oh no. That's
I will never
terrible.
vote again.
That's terrible. Mm-mm.
That's the difference. And you wonder why they aren't investing in certain communities.
Yeah.
And you wonder why they aren't showing up. These politicians look at data and they see what areas vote, what areas don't vote.
Mm-hmm.
Folks said to me, why do politicians always go to a senior citizen home? Why do I always see them there? Because those areas vote. And at the end of the day, it's going to take a while to get the exact numbers. We're going to see the voter turnout data in certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Mm-hmm.
you want to know why they win, there's a lot of reasons: Southern strategy, racism, misogyny, messaging, the whole bit. But their base, it does. They don't even their base. They don't even consider, for the most part, not showing up. And
Yeah.
I saw that difference in real time.
100%. Yeah. And the thing about it is what this election showed is that, Democrats stay home when they don't get their way, and Republicans keep voting until they get their way. And when they get their way, they keep voting to maintain their way of dominance and of power. And I think it is so pathetic. It is disgusting and it's unconscionable that as a country, we did not force Donald Trump to earn one Biden vote. He did not have to convert one Joe Biden voter. All he had to do was run the most sexist, racist, xenophobic, transphobic, homophobic campaign to get his base out. This election is not a realignment. I said this in my video. Trump got less votes nationally this time, or if he got more votes, it's marginally more votes, nowhere in the ballpark of what Biden Harris got in 2020. And he still won. So there are some swing states where he did get more votes than he did last time. But as a country as a whole, we allowed this man to win the popular vote with the same votes that he got last time. So he made the correct calculation. I said it on Tuesday. I said, he's pulling our pump cards. And he was 100% right. He was like, why should I sit up here and try to come up with he didn't come up with a platinum plan this time. He came up with a platinum plan in 2020. He said, fuck y'all, I'm a criminal. Don't y'all like that? He did not have to cater to, he did not have to moderate his stances. He didn't have to do anything. He picked the most inflammatory, ridiculous piece of shit vice presidential candidate who shitted on everybody, childless cat ladies, women, everybody. And he won because we allowed it. So, I know that people can say what they want to say about, well, Biden would have won, or this country is so racist and sexist and they wouldn't have voted for a black woman. Da, 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 da. He did not have to get well, I would have voted for Biden, but now I'm voting for Trump vote. He didn't have to get any of those votes. All he had to do was maintain the votes that he got. And that's pathetic considering that we had a 15 million or we had an 8 million vote lead from the last election. So this is more an indictment on, like I said, the apathy in this country and the inaction of this of people who actually affirmatively voted Trump out last time, who saw COVID and said, shit, we in the house. Shit, my mama died. My cousin died. I lost my job. The economy's in the shitter. People who saw all that and went out and voted. Oh, and by the way, the racial reckoning, those people are the ones who sat out this time. There wasn't a surge of support among Latinos. I know what the statistics show. What it shows is that the reliable Latino voters are Republican. That's what it showed. It didn't show that he improved upon his Latino vote number. It showed
it's always the turnout number. Folks forget that piece of the data.
Yeah.
Turnout. Y'all looking at these numbers, you're not focusing on the turnout. Forgive me. Go ahead.
Exactly. Yeah, when 10 million people drop off, yeah, the number's gonna look more favorable for the motherfucker who had 100% of his voters last time, or 95%. So I feel like people are taking the wrong lessons from this. I think that we could have analysis on strategy and messaging and all that kind of stuff. And I think that is a necessary conversation moving forward because we still have to get that right. But I think that Vice President Kamala Harris did everything that she could with the shitty hand that she was dealt, because be clear, Biden was down. He was down worse than what she was. The polls show Biden ass losing. Okay. And what Republicans banked on and what all of their red wave of polls actually panned out to be true is that there is a more Republican voting electorate. Not that there are more Republicans, but there are more voters. They vote more. They vote at higher frequencies, and they were 100% correct. That's what they said. All the polls underestimate Trump. The polls underestimate Trump, and they did. They did again.
Yeah, of course, I knew that.
Even as much as they tried to manipulate it. So I feel like it's necessary to make the point that Kamala Harris started from a deficit. She started from a losing campaign that did not raise the money it needed to. That had a message that they settled on for well over a year, which is that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. And she had 106 days to do the best that she could. And we pushed her on things. And I don't think that she ran a flawless campaign in terms of her messaging and some of her choices. But I don't think that those things made the difference in terms of what she had to work with in 106 days. I don't think that those things made the difference to the tune of 10, 15 million people staying home. You can't convince me of that. Nobody can. I'm not saying you're trying to, but I'm saying nobody can convince me that she made mistakes to the tune of 10 million people staying home.
No. And honestly, I said this before when they kicked Joe Biden out, or they were about to. I don't think anybody, remember I said this? I said, no, it's not that I don't think Vice President Kamala Harris could win. I don't think anybody could win under this scenario if they kick him out. Not Gavin Newsom, not Wes Moore. I didn't think anybody could do it. Now, we'll never know if we could have been doomed from the start. We'll never know.
I think we were.
I felt like.
I think we were.
Yeah.
I think we were.
But what I will say, Reese Colbert, what I will say, mark my words on this. This I know for sure. The Democratic Party, they're going to go back to the Democrats of the 1990s.
Yeah, 100%.
They're going back in time. They're going to go back to that Democratic Bill Clinton platform of the 1990s. Mm-hmm. And don't get me started on the black voter turnout vote in the 1990s. That was around the 50% range.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to go back to where they feel is the reliable voting bloc. You already got Bernie Sanders saying it. You got Richie Torres saying it. Oh, we got to focus on I know all the coded language.
Win his race?
He did. He did.
Okay.
I believe so. I got to double check, but I believe he did. But they're going to go back to.
Bernie Sanders underperformed Vice President Kamala Harris, so Bernie Sanders can shut the hell up and go to hell.
Exactly. But the narrative is out there That, oh, they didn't focus on the, mind you, I don't know anybody who was more pro-union and pro-labor than Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. But it doesn't matter because they feel like we are working with unreliable voting blocks.
Yeah.
Therefore, we're going to go back to the Democrats of the 1990s. Now they're going to feel like the Barack Obama Democrats, that was a rarity. That was a rarity. And Biden was connected to Obama. In my book, I lay this out. The Democratic Party significantly changed with President Barack Obama.
Yeah.
There was before Obama and post Obama. And if you all remember, Hillary Clinton was supposed to be the nominee. The Democratic, powerhouses were not behind Obama in 2008. But now they're done. They're going to go back to those Bill Clinton days, the base that he was able to get, and really centrist, like Crime Reform Bill 1994 centrist, like 1996 Welfare Reform Act centrist. That's what they're going to focus on now. Mark my words.
I agree with you. And I would say unless we fight for it, but I don't think we're going to put up a fight because it takes a white man to be the white man is the prevailing attitude on average. Oh, a black woman can't win. So I think that Black people are going to go along with it largely with the well, we got to survive. So we got to just go. Yeah, let's just kowtow to the white folks. Let's not ask for nothing. I had somebody tell me that we overreached after Ketanji Brown Jackson. But this is where we're headed. We're headed to the place where the expectation is going to be that especially Black women shut up and go along and be the mules of the Democratic Party. The messed up part about it is these white elitist consultants are the problem because they misread the electorate again, because they thought that they were going to get the white women who were so appalled by Trump, even though they weren't in 2016 when he was grabbing by the pussy. They misread it again. They thought, oh, well, Republicans, we got all these Trump officials that said that he ain't gonna win or he's too dangerous. So they thought, okay, let's run a campaign to try to peel off Republicans and try to get white women. Instead of what I said was, this is a turnout based election. That's what I said. The base is not Republicans. The base is not white women. I said, I don't have a problem with you going after them, but this is going to be a base election. And people ripped my head off. Said I was being negative. And guess what? The base didn't come out. I mean, Detroit, 47% turnout in Detroit.
Is that the data for Detroit? Wow.
That's what Roland said. I haven't confirmed that, but that's what he said. That's fucking pathetic. Wow. And to be fair to VP and her team, they busted their ass. They was in Michigan.
Listen, I was in Philly. I don't know what the data is for Philly, Reese. Yeah. I was in Philly. I saw so much on the ground work in Philadelphia. And that's why I'm saying they're going to go back to the Democratic Party of the 1990s where Bill Clinton won Louisiana. Did you know that in 92? Bill Clinton won Arkansas.